Hey, what's up guys, I'm Arnovino and this is the review of the Arc Mobile Memo with a 1.2 GHz Mediatek quad-core processor and also running on a Jelly Bean 4.2. Alright, so the first thing that you will notice is that it really looks like a Samsung Galaxy Note 2. But the only thing that makes it different is the large bezel of the Arc Mobile Memo. But once you put the back casing or flip cover, it will not be noticeable, which is one good thing. And based on user feedbacks, almost all the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 casing and flip covers are compatible. Because of the large screen size, it may be hard to hold in one hand, but still it is very comfortable in gripping because of the thin size form factor and the curved edges. It also has a capacitive pen that is built into it, but I'll show it to you later on. Okay, let's first check the benchmark test. For the Antutu, it resulted around 13,818, and for the quadrant test, it resulted around 3,599, which is pretty standard for a quad-core processors. And for the refresh rate, it is around 58.96 Hz. And for the Nanomark 2, the frame rate per second is around 49.7. Here are some of the available sensors: the accelerometer, light, proximity, and sound sensor. But unfortunately, the magnetic sensor is not working, so it means the compass light will not work. You will also notice its GPU renderer is also a PowerVR SGX 544MP, which is really good in rendering high graphics intensive game. Although the screen resolution is only QHD, which is 540 by 960, still it's just right for its specs. And for the light sensor, it resulted around 30 lux, and for the proximity sensor, it is around 1 cm. And of course, this is also a 5 multi-touch capable phone. And here is the actual demo of the capacitive pen that you will have when you buy the Memo. Unfortunately, it is not usable. As you will see, even though I press it hard and stroke a couple of times, it really doesn't respond well comparing it to my hand stroke. And it really acts just like a display and additional accessory, which is really disappointing for the Memo. So moving on to the camera test, so far the Memo has a good 8 megapixel camera. It is good in a low light environment and even in a good lighting situation. It has an autofocus feature, which is really good in taking macro shots. But for the front camera, it is just also an average 2 megapixel camera, and which is really not good in a low light environment. Again, if you're familiar with the vanilla Android camera app, you will really see no difference using this camera app. All the features are still working, like HDR mode, preview, ISO, scenes, continuous shot, and many more. Capturing a video is a bit zoom in when you start recording, but the output is still great for the 8 megapixel camera, but still it's an average camera. Browsing in the Arc Mobile Memo is pretty fluid and fast, but the only downside is that when you are quite far with your connection, example Wi-Fi, it suddenly affects the browsing experience, because you will notice the Wi-Fi bar gets to easily drop when you just a feet away from your source. But for the data connection, I really didn't experience any issues. It is very stable and I use it almost on my events and it didn't disappoint me. Alright, so let's proceed with the gaming features. Well, because of the combination of the quad-core processor and the PowerVR GPU, it really works great on gaming. Like for this demo, I'm playing the NBA 2K13. It is fluid and responsive, but sometimes when you have other tasks running in the background, it can affect the performance. Playing the Asphalt 8 is really responsive even though on high settings with all the ambient lights and shadows and effects, still you will not see any lags. Another racing game is the Need for Speed, which is also a 3D game. As you will notice, turning from left to right is really fluid and the gaming experience is really great. So when it comes to streaming or watching high definition video with the Memo, it is really smooth and no jumping of frames, and the display is really vibrant because of the IPS screen, and you will see great details and of course a great gaming experience as well. In terms of messaging, the default keyboard is also good, but on this review I used the Swift keyboard, which is really great, and with the large size phone you will see typing is really not a problem here, and also the typical feature of a dual SIM messaging app is still the same with the 450 QD that has some smileys and other nifty features there. One added feature here is the display settings, where you can calibrate the proximity sensor, which is for the other phones you need to download third-party apps and access the engineering mode just to adjust this, but with the Memo it is built in. And for the sound quality and headset features, you can use new types of headsets. Because the Memo is a CTIA compliant, you can use the buttons on your headset to pause and play audios and videos. And the sound is also not distorted using high-end headsets. Overall, the Arc Mobile Memo is really worth it for its price. The performance is great and the display quality is good, even though it's a bit tinted blue comparing it to other brands, but for me, I am comfortable with that color in the display. The icons are just a bit customized, so it looks a bit cartoonic, but then again, overall this phone is really a good budget phone if you want a good gaming experience and performance phone. For the battery life, it can last a day or two, an average call, text, and browsing, but for the gaming and watching video experience, it can last around 5 to 6 hours depending on the game and settings, how you frequently play or watch videos. So that's it guys. If you haven't subscribed on my channel, please do so. Just click on the subscribe button at the bottom of this video and don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. And if you have feedback, suggestions, and comments, just put it in the comment section down below or find me on my social media links on the description box of this video. And again, I'm Arnovino and see you on my next review video.